it was my sins that put Jesus there. But the powerful thing is when the pastor got up and for 15 minutes, real simply, just shared the gospel. And for those that don't know, the gospel means good news. Listen, you don't appreciate good news until you know what the bad news is. You don't shoot fireworks off during the daytime. You wait till it's dark so you can appreciate the glory and the light of the firework. See, my whole life, I thought I was a good person, just straight up. I'm a hard worker, good kid, respectful. I was living in the daytime. It was noon outside. So when I saw fireworks in the air, they get lost in my self-righteousness. I didn't appreciate anything Jesus did for me. But for the first time in my life, I realized, man, I had more sins than I could ever count. And I'm not going to be judged according to the good works I've done. That's like robbing a bank, giving the money to the poor, and then you go before a judge guilty and say, well, I gave all the money away. Well, I'm going to judge you according to the crime that you broke. I realized word, thought, and deed, I had more sins. Maybe I hadn't murdered somebody, but I had anger in my heart. Maybe I hadn't committed adultery, but I had lust. I was full of lust. And if I was honest, I was guilty. And I realized that I had to be punished for that. Now, here's the thing. Somebody's got to die for those sins. The wages of sin is death. It's either me or Jesus on the cross. And be the first time in my life I realized that it was my sins that put Jesus there. Wasn't the Jews, wasn't the Romans, it was me. And before I could receive that forgiveness, mercy, and grace from the cross, I had to come to the grips that I was guilty of putting him on the cross. So it had to become personal. Once it became personal, that's when I appreciated it. Whenever I saw Jesus on the cross, it was like a firework and the backdrop was all my dark sin. I finally appreciated it for the first time in my life. I grew up going to church. Easter Bunny, Jesus resurrected. I didn't understand that if he didn't resurrect, then he was like every other man in the grave. But when he resurrected, it meant he was the real deal.